You're watching South Asia Newsline and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 30th of January. Indian government calls all-party meeting ahead of budget session. Conference in UK flags rights violations in Sindh and Balochistan. And Sri Lanka defends Navy's actions after firing incident with Indian fishermen. And now for all the details. Ahead of the budget session of the Indian Parliament, an all-party meeting was held at the Parliament Annex building in New Delhi. The meeting was chaired by Union Ministers including Rajnath Singh, Kiran Rijiju, JP Nadda and Arjun Ram Meghwal. Leaders from the different political parties including Congress leader Jairam Ramesh and TMC's Derek O'Brien were present in the meeting. Before the commencement of the meeting, RSP MP N.K. Premchandran said that this is a routine meeting which is conducted before the parliamentary session, adding that the opposition is ready to have a smooth functioning of the parliament. The budget session will begin from Friday and will conclude on April 4. The budget will be presented on February 1. The parliament will have an inter-session break from February 14 and the two houses will resume their sittings on March 10.
I participate today in this all-party meeting regarding the coming session, President address as well as the finance budget is going to submit this 2025. This is the important session is going to take place. On behalf of the main concern about regarding the new government has formed in Sri Lanka, and we know very well. Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji also previously said that Kacheti is one of the part of the Indian territory as given illegally by the previous Congress government in 1976 during this period. Therefore, 73 to 76, that is the period as given, but not ratified by the Parliament. Therefore, even the ruling party many times in occasion Parliament they also accepted this issue, which raised by our Honorable former Chief Minister and
Days after United States President Donald Trump called for return of the US military equipment from Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, Pakistan has also raised concern. In a statement released on Wednesday, Pakistan's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Shafqat Ali Khan said the advanced weapons left behind in the aftermath of the US withdrawal from Afghanistan has been an issue of profound concern for the safety and security of Pakistan and its citizens. He further said these weapons have been used by terrorist organizations, including the TTP, to carry out terror attacks in Pakistan. We have been repeatedly calling upon the de facto authorities in Kabul to take all necessary measures to ensure that these weapons do not fall into the wrong hands, the statement added. According to a report by US Defense Ministry, the troops left behind around $7 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan, which was later seized by Taliban. Trump, before his presidential inauguration, had threatened actions against Afghanistan if they failed to return the equipment. However, media reports suggest the Taliban has reportedly refused to return any of the military equipment and urged the US to provide them with more advanced weapons to fight Daesh or Islamic State. A conference on gross human rights violations in Sindh and Balochistan was held on Wednesday at the House of Commons, London. Hosted by British MP Bob Blackman and organised by the Asian Human Rights Forum, the event highlighted alleged oppression by the Pakistani military.
A conference hosted by British MP Bob Blackman in the premises of the House of Commons and organised by the Asian Human Rights Forum highlighted gross human rights violations in Sindh and Balochistan by Pakistan. MP Blackman expressed concern over Pakistan's human rights record, urging stricter scrutiny of UK aid to Pakistan. Speakers including activists Arif Ajakia, Dr. Hidayatullah Bhutto of World Sindhi Congress and Dr. Khurshid Karim of Baloch Human Rights Council flagged concern over issues such as land grabbing, enforced disappearances and resource exploitation.
Bob Blackman, in his opening statement, he said that Pakistan is recipient of British aid in huge amount, and I'm afraid that these funds are used against the people of Pakistan, and it worries me that Pakistan is committing such gross violations of human rights. And World Sindh Congress organizer for Europe and UK, Dr. Hidayatullah Bhutto, in his statement spoke very nicely about Sindh's problems. He highlighted the case of land grabbing by Pakistan Army on the name of corporate farming. Pakistan Army is grabbing Sindh's agriculture land. Dr. Hidayat Bhutto brought many facts and figures on this topic. Then Dr. Khurshid Karim from Baloch Human Rights Council presented Baloch case, and he explained that how natural resources of Balochistan are exploited by Pakistan Army for their benefit, and Baloch people are not getting anything. There are no medical facilities, there are no education, there is no safe drinking water.
Activists allege that the situation in Sindh and Balochistan is not highlighted by the Pakistani media, compelling them to seek intervention through global platforms.
A day after India launched a strong protest against the firing at Indian fishermen by the Sri Lankan Navy, Colombo has defended the move and said the action was in accordance with legal protocols. In a media briefing, Defence Secretary Air Vice Marshal Sampath Thukontha said the Lankan Navy, after observing a cluster of Indian fishing boats in Lankan waters, launched a special operation to send away these boats. He further said the Lankan Navy was compelled to conduct non-compliance boarding, during which Indian fishermen behaved in a hostile manner and made an attempt to snatch a firearm from the naval officer. The Defence Secretary added, during the process, an accidental fire occurred, which caused slight injuries to 2 Indian fishermen. The prolonged dispute over fishing rights has been a source of tension between India and Sri Lanka for many years, as they share an expansive oceanic border without clear demarcation. Fishermen from both sides frequently stray into each other's waters while netting their catch, often resulting in their arrest and prolonged imprisonment. Bangladesh Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam on Wednesday said that the possible date for the next election will be announced based on the report of the Reform Commission, expected to be submitted in February. Alam said that the Reform Commission's report will be reviewed and discussions will be held with the political parties to arrive at a consensus before finalizing the election schedule. He further said that if the parties feel more reforms are necessary under this government, the process could extend by another 6 months, meaning the election may be held by June next year. Political parties have repeatedly urged the government to complete the reforms swiftly and proceed with the election. Since the ouster of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh is being run by Muhammad Yunus. Scores of Hindu devotees took a ritualistic bath and offered prayers in the premises of Pashupatinath temple in Nepal as part of month-long rituals of Swasthani Brat Katha. Take a look.
Nepali Hindu devotees undergoing the arduous fasting of Swasthani Brat Katha made their first stopover pilgrimage, commonly called Pardes Yatra, at the Pashupatinath temple on Wednesday. Braving the winter chill, dozens of Hindu women, some of whom travelled about 13.5 kilometers on foot, performed the ritualistic bath and worshipped sitting on the hay straws on the banks of the sacred Bagmati river that flows through the Pashupati area. The annual month-long religious festival is marked by fasting, holy bathing and reading sacred texts, especially by women for their family's welfare or for getting a good spouse. Devotees during the festival read 1 chapter out of 31 lessons a day from the religious book of Swasthani, which comprises of stories including tales on creation of the world, Hindu deities and demons. As part of the rituals, they do not eat foods cooked by others. They only eat rice, sugar, peas, amongst other foods that are considered sacred. On the final day of the fasting, all the offerings made to different gods are immersed in the river.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.